Hey guys, welcome to the MMA Brothers podcast, the newest, baddest, and best podcast out there. And let's get it going. Hello guys, and welcome back to the MMA Brothers podcast. My name is Daryl.
This is Asher over here.
And we're going to talk about the post-fight Jon Jones versus Reyes pay-per-view 247.
Yes, sir. So this was a pretty good pay-per-view card. When you first saw the fighters on the card, you kind of thought like it was a little top-heavy with Valentina Shevchenko and Jon Jones both fighting. But some of the fights on the card ended up being good. But we're going to start with the bottom of the card. And this fight, I don't know what to say about the Black Beast, bro. But like, he's an interesting fellow. He keeps winning fights. Like, who did he fight last time? I can't remember.
Volkov?
No. He had fought someone in his previous fight. And Ivanov, I think his name was, right? Mm-hmm. He fought Ivanov and he was getting taken down and he threw like some shots and like he was hitting him with heavy strikes, but he kept on getting taken down. And it was pretty much the exact same story for this fight and like his last fight. And he won both. And I'm like, yo, well, I don't know what the judges are seeing. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but we can look at the stats first. Derrick Lewis, 27 strikes, landed 47%. Here, significant strikes, 20-5, I guess.
Like, but if you're hitting someone with body shots in a clinch, it counts as a strike, but like it's not the same damage.
I don't know. This fight to me was a snoozer, but like the Black
It really
Beast,
was. He turned it up. Listen, he turned it up at the end of the fight, right? He was throwing bombs trying to knock out Latifi. Latifi's a chin. Latifi's got a belly and a chin. This fight, I saw it going Lewis's way because if you're just gonna bear hug someone for 3 straight rounds and not do any damage, man, like, you know what I mean? The judges are gonna put it in favor of who's actually trying to end the fight. You can't just grab Derrick Lewis, hold him, and maybe hit him once or twice. Like, it's pretty boring.
It was boring.
It was super boring. So I think from the excitement factor, that's why he got the win because he's like, the judge is like, this guy's not even trying to win the fight, Latifi. He did throw out 62 strikes, but it was mostly in the clinch. Like, he didn't hurt Derrick at all once that I saw, right? So, good pick. I picked Lewis. You picked Lewis.
I did.
Yeah, let's keep it moving.
Yeah, Latifi, holy moly. I knew he was a heavyweight, but he was big. I was like, damn.
Thick.
Yeah, thick man. Anyways, we're going to move on to the next fight of the night. Give us a second while this loads.
It's Dan Ige.
There we go.
It's Dan Ige.
Yeah.
Versus Mirsad Bektic.
So, I'll let you break this one down, Daryl.
Yeah, so when I was watching this, Dan Ige came out with heat. I told you Dan was going to come out and get the dub.
Yep.
Came out with heat. He rocked him like 3 times in the first round. Second round, Bektic kind of came back. It was kind of even. He hurt Dan Ige. Final round, Ige finished strong again. He was hurting him. Like, he was hurting him. I think Ige is a southpaw. He might have been orthodox, but I don't know why I'm thinking he was a southpaw, but he was catching with uppercuts, hooks, leg kicks. He's just pressuring the whole time.
Right.
He's one to watch out for, especially in the 145-pound division. He's definitely someone you want to watch out for.
Yeah.
He's really good, and he puts the pressure, and he put a beating on him. And this one fight of the night, if I'm not mistaken, Dana White, I think, awarded them fight of the night. It was an amazing fight. Danny Ige want to look out for him in the future. He hurt him multiple times. I was surprised. He got hurt so bad. I'm like, how's this guy still standing? Do you get what I mean?
It's always crazy when you see those fighters that like get clipped and just keep going. I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's just funny to me because his name is Danning 50K.
He got 50K.
He got his 50K.
He secured it.
He's a man of his word. Danning 50K, he got it. And I got this pick wrong. I don't know if Daryl, I think you picked Dan Ige.
Yeah.
Ige. I picked Mirsad because he was a more experienced fighter and he had a ranking to his name and Dan did not. So I was wrong with that one. So 1 for 1 so far. And yeah, that's pretty much it for that fight. We're going to move on to the next one.
I'm 2 for 1. So, this is the only one I messed up a couple.
Yeah, you're 2-0 so far for what we've covered. Yeah. But yes, now the next
3-2. Justin Tafa versus Juan Adams. Now, once again, big boys in the ring. I love it whenever it's heavyweights fighting because in the first round, someone's getting hurt, right? Unless he's a wrestler like Curtis Blades who's going to snooze the fight. But Justin Tafa, I thought was going to get beat by Juan Adams just due to the size differential.
Yeah.
But when I was watching the fight, Juan is so tentative. Like, he doesn't have a mean spirit about him. Like, he seems like a gentle giant. So I was thinking, Juan, you have the reach advantage. You're bigger. Right? Keep him at length, jab him, and hit him with some power shots.
Right.
Tafa was just walking through his jab and then hitting him.
Right.
Walking through, hitting him. And then he caught him overhand, uppercut, goes down, hits him again. back, and then the referee grabs him, and it was over. It's very Mark Hunt-esque,
Yeah.
and that's what the commentators were saying, that Justin Tafa reminds him a lot of Mark Hunt because that right hand is heat. Juan Adams cut down to 265.5.
Right.
He's probably walking around 280. Probably came into the fight 280 after he rehydrates himself.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say, man. One, you wet the bed. He was talking about, I've watched the Rockets play here for so many years. And
what does that have to do with losing?
No. This is before the fight.
Oh, okay.
He's talking about, I've watched the Rockets play. It's going to be amazing to play here because it's in Houston.
Right.
It's going to be amazing to play here. I hope I'll put on a show for the crowd. Mm-hmm. And I think the moment was too big for him. He's got to go back, and he's got to get a mean spirit about him because there's no place in the UFC for tentative fighters. Like, go out there. I understand nerves are playing a big factor. Get the nerves out. Just go out there and start swinging. If you if you go out on your shield, you go out on your shield. He didn't even do any damage to Justin. Yes, cool. He had 7 total strikes, but it wasn't anything that Justin was, concerned with. Right? He got hit with the overhand right, panicked, then uppercut, and then he dropped. Then he got hit again, and then the referee stopped the fight. Yeah. Great fight. He's one to look out for in the heavyweights, but what he's got to realize is he has power, but no speed.
He's a bad man. And
he doesn't have speed. Right. Yeah. The moment he goes up against Curtis Blades and all the other bigger heavyweights who have movement and Junior Dos Santos, he's going to face a lot of trouble because he's very heavy on his feet. Like when he sits in on his punches, right? So he comes in, boom, or he's uppercuts. They hurt, but the people like Ngannou would kill him.
So that's the thing with the heavyweight division. The top 4 guys, so the Miocic, the Cormiers, the Curtis Blades, and Ngannou, those guys, I feel like anybody else that's going to try and fight them are not going to win. I'm sorry. Anybody else in the lower heavyweight division doesn't have a chance. So Curtis Blades is that guy that keeps knocking at the door. He's tried twice against Ngannou, got stopped both times. Maybe Curtis Blades can do well against Miocic and Cormier because the chance of a one-punch KO are very unlikely. But I think the rest of the heavyweights are going to struggle with that. Anyways, that wraps up that fight, and we're going to move on to the co-main event of the evening, which was Valentina Shevchenko versus Katlyn Chookagian. I think I said that correctly.
Yes.
Blonde fighter versus the Bullet. And Daryl got this one wrong. He was like, Katlyn's going to win. Trust me, guys. I'm like, nope. Valentina Shevchenko, she's a boss. She fought Amanda Nunes twice. Some people actually thought she won the decision in one of those fights. So the Bullet was doing her thing. She finished the fight in the 3rd round, and it was a lot of takedowns. As you guys can see the stats, she landed 57 strikes to Katlyn's 27.
It was closer than it seemed because a lot of the strikes came in at the end of the 3rd round when she was in the crucifix position.
Right.
So this is kind of misleading. I thought Katlyn was handling herself very well. She was definitely losing the first 2 rounds. In terms of octagon control, she was sticking with Valentina. She wasn't scared of Valentina's power.
She was competitive.
She was very competitive. One of the most competitive fights I've seen with Valentina.
Yeah.
So I just think Valentina's ground game is very underrated.
And she's a tiny lady, but she's still like, no one can handle her on the ground.
How quickly she put in a crucifix, when I saw it, I'm like, no.
She went to the ground and then immediately inside control. Then, I don't know how she grabbed her arm so quick into a crucifix.
That's what I'm saying.
I've never seen it happen that fast before. I was like, whoa.
It took Katlyn by surprise too. She's like, wait, what's going on? Next thing you know, she's getting elbowed into oblivion.
Yeah, and the way she gripped her legs around her arm too, it was tight. There was no way Katlyn was coming out of that crucifix. And then, like Daryl said, eating elbows and punches for days. And, the referee stopped it at a good time because,
But at the end of the 2nd round, when she did the downward elbow and sliced her right here, it was like,
Valentina Shevchenko, she's a bad woman, man.
I honestly don't know who's going to fight her. Maybe Macy Barber when she's back.
Macy Barber, I know she hurt her ACL and stuff, but,
No, but she trains with my boy Ben. She trains with Ben Askren. Ben Askren's going to teach her some nasty grappling. She's not going to be afraid of going to the ground.
Macy Barber's stand-up isn't anything to... Valentina Shevchenko is nasty on the feet and on the ground. You know what I mean? So, you're going to have to find a female fighter at this division that's going to be able to compete with her both areas.
Yeah, I know, but if Macy can close the gap, push Valentina against the fence, and then clinch her, I think she has a chance because she's learning from one of the best grapplers on earth.
And Ben Macy is a bigger woman, so she's bigger than Valentina.
So I think that'll be an interesting fight in a year or 2 years when Macy's back, healthy, fights again. I'm pretty sure she's in this weight class. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure she's in Valentina's weight class.
I think so too. But another thing that's interesting is I was watching the Ariel Helwani post-fight show with Brett Okamoto, and they both said they don't know what's next for Valentina Shevchenko. They're kind of this girl is just like so good. Like literally, the UFC could just throw anyone at her, and it's probably gonna be one of those people like a John Jones level where she's gonna just keep racking up titles, and yeah, she can move up to 135 and fight Amanda Nunes for the third time. But like everybody's seen that, we know it's gonna be close, and like Nunes is probably gonna win the fight because she has the reach and the height and the bigger.
But I don't know if you heard this, guys, but Valentina came out and told Dana White, "I don't care about pay-per-views." She doesn't care. She's like, put me on a regular fight night on like a Saturday when it's not pay-per-view and you Eastern. She just wants to fight. She's like, I don't care. For me, it's not about the next up and coming. No, she's like, nah, I just want to fight, man. Like, just keep them coming. Like, she wants to just motor through people.
Yeah, because she's thinking to herself, like, this is my career. I probably have like whatever 7-8 years longer because she's not young. 7-8 years longer to do this. She probably wants to keep racking up titles, as many belts as she can. And then
she's younger. She's not taking any damage, too.
Yeah. So she's like in the prime of her career. So she's telling Dana, like, yo, just rack them up. I'm going to knock them out the park. But yeah, that's pretty much that for Valentina Shevchenko. She needs to
train her sister.
Yeah, and her sister is bad too.
She's good, but she's not as good. Not nearly as good.
Not as good as
But we're in the main event of the evening. Johnny Bones versus Dom the Devastator Reyes. Now, I'm a huge John Jones fan. So is my brother. Don't really like Dominick because all he kept on saying is athlete.
I'm an athlete.
And so this fight
he was an athlete.
This fight, right? This is very misleading. The total strikes. For people who actually watch MMA, Brian, I assume you do as well because you stay quite close with it. This is what I'm talking about. John Jones, right? If you look at the fight stats, 14 strikes doesn't make you a champion. Difference of 14 strikes doesn't make you a champion. It's everything else encompassing in the fight. Were you the one who was backing up the whole time? Octagon control, right? Octagon control is very big because if I'm just backing up the whole fight and I'm hitting you once, jab here and there. How many left-hand crosses did he land on John? Maybe 1 or 2. How many uppercuts? 1 or 2, right? The rest of it was leg kicks and, maybe one to the body he got through. But John was pressuring him. Every single time Dom would throw something, John would evade, skip it, block it, and then kick him. Skip, block, kick him. Break his rhythm. Yeah. He kept on getting slower and slower each round. Yeah. First 2 rounds, I'll score for Dominick because there was a huge strike differential. But the octagon control played a factor. Even with that, I gave Dominick the rounds by 1 point. Right. As the fights got closer in the 3rd round, I gave it to John by 1 point because I'm like, oh, Dominick hit him 3, 4, 5 times in that little blitz where he was chasing Jones in the 3rd round.
Right.
That little blitz gave him that 5-6 strike differential.
Right.
But other than that 1 minute and a half, if you're actually watching the fight and you're scoring it, John was beating him in terms of forward pressure, breaking his rhythm, takedowns. Like, these are things people have to consider. People are like, oh, he got robbed. It was a close fight. If you say he got robbed, you're an idiot because it's a close fight. If it went either way, you could argue about it.
Yeah.
Right? So the 3rd round was the differentiating factor, but the forward pressure nullified the 5-6 strikes differential and the takedowns.
Right. So I agree. So no one's disputing the fact that John Jones won rounds 4 and 5. You got that. We know those first 2 are for John. The last 2 rounds are for John. The first 2 rounds of the fight, I think most people also agree those are for Dominick. The only concern here is that 3rd round. So, again, you cannot say it's a robbery because there's that 1 round where it was a little bit iffy. Because even though the stats are in Dominick's favor for round 3, it's not by much. Right? And John Jones, like Daryl said, he was the one that was putting the forward pressure on him. He was the one that was making Dominick back up.
For 1 minute, Dom, not even a minute, for 45 seconds, not even 30 seconds, Dom was advancing on John. He hit him once, John was backing up. He's like, okay, let me cover up. Yeah. Beautiful head movement around the cage, got out of there.
Yeah.
Those strikes, I think Dom threw a body kick, leg kick, cross thing. Yeah. He's landing. That 30 seconds is the difference in a championship fight? I don't think so.
Right.
Because the rest of the round, it was Jones.
Yeah.
All the forward pressure was Jones.
Yeah.
So how can you logically tell me I hit you 4 more times, but I was backing up the whole time, and you took me down, and then I got up, but then you took me down again? You do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You guys got to take this into consideration.
Yeah.
People want John Jones to lose, but I'm sorry. He won the fight, in my opinion. In my opinion, is the judge's opinion.
Right.
Your opinion could be different. You have the right to your opinion. 3rd round could have gone either way, but I'm saying by just those, I think it was 5 strikes differential or 6 strikes in the 3rd round. As I said, in betwixt that blur of that advancement of Dominick Reyes, that's when it happened.
Right.
The rest of the fight was John Jones in that round.
Yeah, so we both agree with each other that I think you'd probably I scored it for Jones. I mean, I don't know if that's a bias because, like Daryl said earlier, that we are fans of his. But at the same time, they say like, oh, you should like beat the champion if you want to become the champion. You can't.
Like, I don't think Henry Cejudo beat Demetrius Johnson.
Yeah, a lot
either.
of people thought that fight Demetrius Johnson won just because Henry Cejudo got a couple takedowns doesn't mean, because statistically I think Demetrius outlanded him, so it's kind of like the Dominick Reyes situation. But yeah, this fight, it was much better than I expected, way better than the Thiago Santos fight. And I think past the second round, the judges actually said like Dominick Reyes has already landed more strikes than Thiago Santos did the whole fight, right? Past the second round. And I was like, that's crazy. So this is not as obviously good as the John Jones-Gus fight one, but it has been one of the better fights John has had recently.
And one thing, the UFC posted Champ got rocked when Dominick hit him in the sternum on mid-leg kick. I'm like, UFC, guys, come on, don't be ridiculous.
They're doing that just so people buy the pay-per-view, you know what I mean?
No, it's already in the end of it's in the first round. They're not trying to push people to buy the pay-per-view. All I'm saying is that's a totally biased tweet.
No knockdowns. I think they didn't record any knockdowns for sure. Because
I'm like, come on.
He threw a kick and
got punched in the chest.
Punched in the
right here. It wasn't to the head.
Yeah.
He hit him here. Dominick didn't even advance because he didn't hurt him.
Right.
But then the UFC tweet, Champ gets rocked round one. And then it's just John's dropping. Like, come on, get out of here.
It's clickbait or whatever you want to call it. But let's just go a little deeper into the fight, though, in terms of like what actually took place instead of just who won the fight. So, in the first two rounds, John, even though he was putting that forward pressure, Dominick Reyes, he kind of started the fight like Conor McGregor. As soon as the bell started, you know how John's kind of like slow to get up and like kind of like sets himself up? Dominick Reyes went and threw it like left straight at him, right? Luckily, Jones moved his head out of the way. He's like, whoa, this guy's coming to fight. And he just threw like some kicks and some knees and stuff. And then I was like, oh, damn, he's trying to get rid of John, like just like that, right? And then obviously, John, again, he has a chin. Because like some of the shots he was eating, he ate a head kick. One that like he kind of blocked, but like it went past his arm.
The thing, no matter what John was hit with, this right arm was right here every single time.
It hit his arm first, but the kick still went through.
Yeah, and it hit the back of his head.
The top of his head here. Yeah.
Right? That's the difference. Dominick, when he catches everyone, their arms are down because they're leaping in for things.
Right.
Whenever John was throwing something, this arm would be up because he knows he can take a right hook from Dominick. Dominick doesn't drop people with right hooks. It's his left cross. Yeah. Every time John was throwing, boom, even when he threw this, he'd come around, use his shoulder to protect.
Yeah.
Right? And then that's why Dominick hit him with the uppercut, right?
Yeah, he hit him with the
boom, and then he's like, okay, all right, let me back up. But then when he's backing up, he puts this hand here because he knows you can't get past that.
Yeah.
Right? And then he has this here for the head kicks. That's why every single time Jones was getting hurt, I was not worried. That hand was up.
Yeah.
Right? Dominick hit him to the body. Cool. John can take it to the body. Dominick also got cracked. And another thing, for people who don't watch MMA, what is this? 63% to 45. So you're telling me John was advancing the whole time. He was backing up. This guy's just winging punches. He just wants to get punches out there, done punches out there. He landed 45%. Jones landed 63% of 170. And look at the strike differential, right? How many? He threw almost 100 more strikes and only landed how many? 12
more, yeah.
You telling me that doesn't play a factor?
Yeah, it does. So
right, that's what I'm saying. People who are uneducated about MMA, oh man, he landed.
No, it's not just people that are uneducated about MMA because like on
Ariel Helwani said Jones lost the fight, Dominick won, but it's a close fight. He didn't say it was a robbery.
Even I think Brett Okamoto may have scored it for Reyes too. I'm not sure, but the thing is though, it's not just uneducated people with MMA. You know how like sometimes MMA fighting and all these different websites they post like, fighters' reactions to ABCD fight, right?
But the thing is, there's a lot of jealousy and bias against John Jones in the UFC community, so I don't really take that into consideration. Daniel Cormier was even online defending John Jones' victory. He said, hey man, it was a close fight. It could have gone either way. It was not a robbery. People keep saying it's a robbery. People are like, oh my God, John Jones is just because it's John Jones, everyone. Well, he got outstruck by 12 shots, but he also threw 90 something less strikes and only got outstruck by 12.
And Jones landed 2 takedowns.
Jones landed 2 takedowns. Right? And he had a higher strike percentage than Dominick Reyes by almost 20%. That plays into effect. Octagon control. Once again, what I'm saying, like people, please educate yourself on MMA before you go online and
one thing I want to give. So even though we don't think Reyes won, I want to give Reyes massive kudos because like I did not think he was ready for John because this is his 13th fight. and Jones was fighting for his 14th title belt. And Dominick Reyes was put in on John for the first 2 rounds. I did not expect him to be that good on the feet. I also did not expect him to be that good with his takedown defense because Jones was struggling. Because I remember the commentators were saying...
Because he got hurt. He got hurt once and then he panic wrestled. Because he got hit with the shot, I remember, and I was getting scared. But then, thank God, he got the single leg.
He followed through because he missed. He went to the ground, then he just got right up and then went again, right? Mm-hmm. And then he got Dominic down. But yeah, he was panic wrestling there because it's just
he got stunned. He's like, oh shit, no, I can't take that. Let me take him down.
So Reyes' takedown defense was like really, really good, and people are saying that they want to see an immediate rematch.
I don't want to see it.
I don't know if I want to see that, to be honest. It's like not even for John's sake. It's like, yes, the fight was interesting, but like...
Not even Cormier got an immediate rematch, didn't he?
No, he didn't. But I mean, the first fight, yes, it was a decision, but John, there was no controversy with John winning that fight. And Thiago Santos...
He popped for coke or something like that.
Yeah, but that's not against the rules. That was like before the fight. So pretty much what I'm just trying to say is that like, should John give him an immediate rematch? John respected him, and I don't know if he said yes or no to that question. Reyes obviously will try and fight for that. Do I want to see Jones fight the winner of Corey Anderson and Jan Blachowicz, which is happening next week?
God, no.
Hell no. The thing is, like, those two fighters, like Dominick Reyes, I'm like, okay, he has power, he's fast, he's whatever, so I can see how he might beat Jones. But those two fighters, I'm sorry. Like, even if Jones is like 15% worse than he was in this fight, he's beating Corey Anderson.
And another thing, people are like, oh, John Jones is losing it. Like, his fights are getting closer and closer. If you've been in title fights for 14 years and everyone is analyzing your every move for 14 years, even before that, right? Think about it. Everyone has seen John Jones fight in title fights for how many years straight? Yeah. You're going to study him. You're going to know what he's going to do. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
The more and more people take a test and they tell you, yo, I took the test, this is how I failed.
Yeah.
You see how other people failed the test. You don't want to fail the test the same way.
Maybe now is the time for him to go to heavyweight, because like I feel like these light heavyweight guys, the crop coming up, those guys are like really, really good athletes. You know what I mean? So Reyes is just the beginning. There's going to be some other guys that come through like, yo, see this dude light heavyweight? He's fast, he's strong, he's nasty, blah, blah. Good wrestling. Not to say that Jones should run away from his division, but I'm just like, you're 32. But the thing is, everyone pretty much. It's like, what's left?
I get it. The speed differential in heavyweight he's gonna have that other people have on him now because he's been in there for 14 years. But people need to understand greatness when you witness it, bro.
Yeah.
Who's been at the top of the mountain for 14 years and he's had 2 close fights, right? 2, Gustafsson and this one, close fights.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, everyone's biased for Jones. Blah, blah. Yeah. No, he's earned the respect of everyone. They should know. You have to definitively, it sounds cliche, you have to definitively beat John Jones. If it's a rubber match where it's just like, then this takedowns, octagon control, when those come into factor and then he's doing those things, you can't give it to the other guy.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. So
right?
So what do you want to see next for John?
What do I want to see next? I want to see him take a little bit of time off. He's been fighting a lot. Maybe towards the end of the year, I want to see him fight again, because the one thing I don't want is him to wear out his chin, because he takes some shots. Thiago cracked him. Dominick cracked him. Like, give your chin some time to recover.
He took like a couple left hands, a head kick, and an uppercut, and I was like, wow.
Yes, so he needs to relax. Yeah. I think he should fight towards the end of the year. Next fight for him, I don't know. I want to see the winner of Corey Anderson and Jan Blachowicz fight Dominick Reyes for the #1 contender. If I was Dana, that's what I would do, because you don't want Corey Anderson to be champ. You don't. Do you guys want to see Corey Anderson fight? I don't. He's had one good fight that people wanted to watch against Johnny Walker, and we wanted to see him get knocked out. The one fight you wanted to see Corey Anderson fight, you wanted him to lose.
Because we all know he's going to wrestle Jan Blachowicz, right?
It's going to be brutal. And then you want that as your champ. If I was Dana, I'd just cut his contract.
The real, blah, 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 I'm this and there. John Jones, where you at? You suck, blah, blah, blah. I can already tell what he's going to say. And then John's probably going to be like, bro, like, Corey, like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm just like...
Yeah. No, but you know what? Let us what you guys think in the comments below. I was very passionate about the John Jones things because I need to stay off social media. I'm reading a lot of idiots tweeting who don't know what they're talking about. For granted, Okamoto and the other UFC fighters are entitled to their own opinion, as am I. But don't call this a robbery because you look like an absolute idiot because that means you don't actually know what you're watching. It's not a robbery. It was a close fight.
Yep.
Right? Mm-hmm. Could have gone either way. Would I have been upset if Reyes had gotten one? 100% I would have been upset.
Yeah.
Because it was a close fight.
Yeah.
Right? So, let us know what you guys think. Like, follow, subscribe. Brian, we'd love to hear what you think about it. Take into consideration what we said. And then, Ashley, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, not really much. So obviously we have this on YouTube and all the other podcast platforms out there. So you can listen to us any which way you would like. And even though we made fun of Corey Anderson, we're going to have to preview his fight card coming up.
Honestly, but if you guys don't want us to preview the Corey Anderson fight, comment below saying don't even waste your time.
So, yeah. One last thing I wanted to mention. Please check out our new series that we're starting on this channel called MMA Focus. We're focusing on different martial arts. We're going to have guests come on and they're going to tell us about their martial arts and how it benefits their life, why they practice it, why they train it, and benefits of doing it. So, hope you guys like that series. Thank you for watching again. Enjoy your day, night, morning, wherever you are. And thank you very much. Bye-bye.
See ya.